Hello. Can you consume alcohol if you have diabetes or prediabetes? What is the ideal timing, quantity, and which types of alcoholic drinks should be avoided? It's important to note that not all alcoholic beverages are equal when it comes to diabetes. Today's video topic is whether it's safe to drink alcohol as a diabetic and the risks associated with insulin resistance, prediabetes, or diabetes. Stay tuned. Before we start, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet so you won't miss any of our health tips. Share this video with as many people as possible on WhatsApp, Facebook, and Telegram to spread quality information. Now, tell me, do you have diabetes or prediabetes? Do you worry about your blood sugar levels when you want to have a drink? Where are you from in the United States? Write your answer in the comments. Let's dive in. Generally, those with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes need to avoid foods and drinks that impact blood sugar levels. Should diabetics completely eliminate alcohol? Not necessarily, but caution is key. However, people with diabetes should be especially careful when consuming alcohol. Many diabetics can safely drink as long as it's done in moderation. Believe it or not, this can even offer some benefits, which I'll mention shortly. How does your body metabolize alcohol? Do you know? Let's imagine you have a beer. The drink enters your stomach, and from that point, everything depends on what's in your stomach, whether you've eaten or if it's empty. If you've eaten before drinking, the pylorus, the last part of the stomach, which functions like a valve, will stay closed so that food can be digested before moving on to the intestines. That's why when you drink on a full stomach, the effects of alcohol take longer to appear since it's held in the stomach with the food. Since the stomach's surface area is smaller than that of the intestines, absorption happens more slowly. On the other hand, if you're fasting, the pylorus stays open, the door is unlocked, and the beer goes straight to the small intestine where the surface area is much larger, allowing alcohol to be absorbed quickly into the bloodstream. And which organ is responsible for filtering the blood? The liver. It's the one that metabolizes alcohol, and this is where problems begin for those with diabetes. Why does this happen? The liver not only metabolizes toxins but also stores glycogen. When blood sugar levels drop significantly, the liver converts glycogen into glucose to help normalize those levels. While the liver is busy processing alcohol, it can't convert glycogen into glucose, which can lead to hypoglycemia. This is one reason why people who've overconsumed alcohol often receive intravenous glucose in the emergency room. So, can alcohol cause hypoglycemia? Yes, it can. But it can also cause hyperglycemia, which is the increase in blood sugar levels. Regular and prolonged alcohol consumption raises insulin resistance and is associated with obesity, especially abdominal fat, which is the most concerning. Why? Because alcohol contains about 7 calories per gram more than carbohydrates, which have 4 calories per gram, and slightly fewer than fat, which is 9 calories per gram. When the liver metabolizes alcohol, it converts it into fat. These two factors contribute to the increase in blood sugar levels. That's exactly why we recommend moderate alcohol consumption or even avoidance for people with diabetes or prediabetes, as it can disrupt blood sugar regulation. So, do the risks of consuming alcohol outweigh the potential benefits? Not exactly, especially when it comes to red wine during dinner. However, it's important not to exceed 150 milliliters, and we know that wine glasses are getting bigger. Drinking wine at dinner may help prevent type 2 diabetes, according to preliminary research presented at the American Heart Association's Cardiometabolic Health Conference in 2022. Personally, I don't consume alcohol, not even red wine or beer, because I'm aware that alcohol can be harmful. Previous studies have looked at the amount of alcohol consumed and have shown varying results. However, this particular study focused on drinking red wine during meals. Researchers analyzed data from over 312,000 adults who identified as regular alcohol drinkers and followed these participants for 11 years. During this period, about 9,000 individuals developed type 2 diabetes. The analysis revealed that drinking wine during meals was associated with a 14% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to drinking alcohol without food. So, who knows, maybe by consuming up to 150 milliliters of wine at dinner, you could reduce your risk of developing diabetes. However, I see a limitation in this study. Alcohol consumption was self-reported by the participants, which may not be entirely reliable. Also, it's important to remember that correlation does not imply causation. What are the potential benefits of red wine? Some data suggest that red wine may be beneficial for those with prediabetes or diabetes, but it's essential to remember that consumption should be limited to 1 glass per day. Previous research indicates that people with type 2 diabetes who consume wine in moderation have a lower mortality rate. Additionally, the Mediterranean diet is often recognized as the best diet in the world and includes red wine as part of meals. So, perhaps red wine could be indicative of a healthy diet. It's also possible that consuming alcohol in moderation helps relax and reduce stress. Another point to consider is the properties of wine that may assist in controlling diabetes. Some studies show that red wine can improve insulin resistance, unlike most other alcoholic drinks, which tend to have a negative effect. Other health benefits, both for people with diabetes and the general population, are related to its high antioxidant content, especially resveratrol. These compounds may improve markers of heart disease, such as fibrinogen and C-reactive protein, as well as reduce the risk of diabetes-related complications like diabetic retinopathy, which affects the blood vessels in the eyes and can also increase levels of good cholesterol HDL. Consuming red wine with a meal may be even more beneficial because the pylorus closes, resulting in a slower absorption of alcohol. Here are the 6 worst alcoholic drinks for diabetics and pre-diabetics. Cocktails. These drinks are often loaded with sugars like condensed milk, so it's better to avoid them unless you're preparing them yourself. Margaritas, pina coladas, and caipirinhas. These options are high in carbohydrates and should be avoided by diabetics. Sweet wines, wines like port, sherry, and vermouth are also rich in carbohydrates, so it's better to exclude them from your list. Cream liqueurs, drinks like Bailey's Irish Cream and Amarula are extremely high in carbohydrates. Beer. People with diabetes can usually drink up to 2 cans a day safely, but beer is rich in carbohydrates and can contribute to weight gain, especially around the abdomen. White wine. White wine does not contain resveratrol, so it doesn't offer the same benefits as red wine. Additionally, some studies suggest that white wine may increase the risk of melanoma. What about distilled spirits? Can diabetics consume them? Generally, distilled drinks like vodka, whiskey, tequila, and rum have a higher alcohol content and usually don't contain carbohydrates. The calories come from alcohol itself. In this regard, they are better options than beer or sugary alcoholic beverages, but it's essential to be cautious about the potential for hypoglycemia. Key tips for drinking alcohol safely. Always eat before drinking to avoid consuming alcohol on an empty stomach. Drink water to prevent dehydration. Monitor your blood sugar levels regularly before, during, and after alcohol consumption. Be mindful of any medications you're taking, as alcohol can interfere with their effectiveness, either reducing or increasing their impact. Moderation is key. If you have diabetes, it's essential not to overdo alcohol. Excessive alcohol consumption can lead to mental health issues like anxiety and depression, as well as physical complications like cirrhosis, fatty liver, ulcers, cancer, and neurological disorders like alcoholic neuropathy, tremors, seizures, delirium tremens, and dementia. It can also increase the risk of accidents and negatively affect family relationships. Should my view on alcohol change knowing that red wine can reduce my risk of diabetes? No, my view on alcohol remains unchanged. I will continue to avoid alcohol, including red wine. And you should maintain that stance as well. If you're at low risk for diabetes and don't drink, there's no reason to start drinking alcohol. Similarly, if you're diabetic and don't drink, you should not start now. That is not a valid justification. Other ways to effectively prevent diabetes. There are other effective ways to prevent diabetes. On our channel, we have several videos that discuss how to avoid and even reverse this condition. I'll quickly share 10 tips that I consider important, but it's worth checking out our other content as well. Here are some tips to improve diabetes control. Sleep well. A poor night's sleep increases cortisol levels, which can lead to poor food choices, such as consuming more sugar and processed foods for energy. This results in increased hunger and worsens insulin resistance. Aim to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night in a quiet, dark environment. Stay hydrated. People with diabetes are at higher risk of dehydration. Drinking plenty of water helps regulate blood sugar levels. Eat more fiber. Fiber slows the absorption of carbohydrates, preventing spikes in blood glucose levels. Soluble fibers, found in foods like beans and apples, are especially beneficial. Strengthen your gut flora. Include foods rich in prebiotics such as garlic, onions, and asparagus, as well as probiotics such as yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi. These foods help reduce inflammation and insulin resistance. Monitor your blood sugar levels. Keep a close track of your blood sugar levels. Both hypoglycemia, low blood sugar, and hyperglycemia, high blood sugar, are harmful. Regular monitoring helps ensure your blood sugar stays within a healthy range. By following these tips, you can significantly improve your diabetes management and reduce risks associated with the condition. Include more magnesium and chromium-rich foods. Magnesium and chromium play a key role in regulating blood sugar. Foods rich in magnesium include dark leafy greens like spinach and kale, pumpkin and sunflower seeds, sweet potatoes, almonds, cashews, whole grains, lentils, beans, avocados, and bananas, especially the gold variety. Foods high in chromium include whole grains, fruits like apples and bananas, broccoli, lettuce, potatoes, beans, and nuts. Reduce stress. It's essential to lower stress levels, as high levels of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline can disrupt the proper function of the pancreas, impacting blood sugar regulation. Exercise regularly. Aim for at least 150 minutes of physical activity per week. Exercise aids in weight loss, reduces stress, and improves insulin sensitivity, meaning your cells become more efficient at utilizing sugar from the blood. Reduce carbohydrate intake. Many studies suggest that a low-carb diet can help control blood sugar levels and prevent blood sugar spikes. While a low-carb diet can be beneficial, avoid extreme cuts. Do not exclude healthy carbs like fruits and vegetables, as they are nutritious and provide long-term protection. Bonus tip: consider using supplements. Certain supplements can be valuable allies in controlling blood sugar levels by promoting healthy glucose metabolism and assisting with weight management. These supplements are especially recommended for individuals with diabetes, prediabetes, or those looking to avoid glucose spikes after meals. These products contain natural ingredients that help stabilize sugar levels by regulating glucose absorption in the body and preventing sharp fluctuations. This is crucial for those who need to keep their blood sugar under control and avoid complications. Some compounds found in these supplements also enhance insulin sensitivity, facilitating the effective use of glucose by cells and preventing insulin resistance, a key factor in type 2 diabetes. The ingredients in these supplements support healthy carbohydrate metabolism, ensuring that glucose is metabolized efficiently, reducing the amount of sugar remaining in the bloodstream, and helping to maintain balanced energy levels throughout the day. A combination of herbs, vitamins, and minerals such as berberine, banaba leaf extract, chromium, and alpha-lipoic acid is often used to support metabolic health. Additionally, many of these ingredients possess antioxidant properties, protecting cells from damage caused by oxidative stress, which is often associated with high blood sugar levels. In the video description, you will find the highly recommended and tested supplements to support weight control, glucose levels, and metabolic health. Take advantage of the special discount available through the links in the description, and don't miss the opportunity to secure these quality products at an exclusive price. And now, the most important tip. Eliminate excess weight. The most important step for better glucose control is losing weight. While supplements can be helpful, they won't work miracles on their own, so take good care of your body. Obesity is the leading risk factor for developing type 2 diabetes. Fat, especially visceral fat, increases insulin resistance and inflammation. Over time, the pancreas may struggle to produce enough insulin, leading to failure. Therefore, weight loss is essential for those with diabetes, so you really don't need red wine. If you enjoy wine and are prone to diabetes or have altered glucose levels, always remember the importance of moderation. Did you enjoy the video? Now you know that not all types of alcohol are the same for diabetics. Don't forget to subscribe and check the video description for links to the supplements. Thank you and see you in the next video.